At school, some children look completely fine, quiet, focused, and in control of everything around them. But what you don't see is how much effort it takes just to stay that way. Their mind is working constantly, filtering noise, controlling impulses, and trying to keep everything from spilling out. They feel everything deeply, but they learn to hide it, holding their emotions tightly inside. They learn to wear a quiet mask, one that hides how hard everything actually feels inside. As the day goes on, the effort builds, and the energy it takes begins to run out. They've been holding it in all day, and now they're simply exhausted from trying. The moment they leave school, the pressure begins to lift, and everything they held in starts rising. Transitions are hard, especially when the body is holding more than it can carry. And then, without warning, the control they held all day begins to break apart. The moment they reach home, the control they held all day begins to loosen all at once. A simple moment can trigger a big reaction because they no longer have the energy to hold it back. It's not about what just happened, it's everything they've been holding inside all day long. When the pressure finally releases, it doesn't come out gently, it comes out all at once. They can't explain what they feel, because it's bigger than words and harder to understand. What helps most in this moment is not control, but calm presence that does not add to overwhelm. When the environment stays calm, their body slowly begins to follow and settle. They don't need to be fixed. They need to feel safe enough for their emotions to pass. After the storm, what remains is not defiance, but exhaustion and quiet relief. They weren't fine at school. They were holding everything in, waiting until they felt safe enough to let go. After the storm passes, what they need most is space to recover, not questions or correction. Connection begins in quiet moments, when they feel safe enough to come closer without being pushed or corrected. When we gently name what they feel, we help them understand their experience without overwhelming them further. Over time, they begin to feel that their reactions are not random, but part of something deeper. When we prepare together ahead of time, we reduce the pressure their mind will carry into the next day. Predictable routines help calm a busy mind, giving them something steady to hold on to each day. When mornings feel predictable, the body doesn't need to brace itself the same way it did before. They still carry emotions, but not all at once, and not without support anymore. When their system feels supported, they don't have to work as hard just to hold everything together. They were never fine at school or difficult at home. They were overwhelmed, and now they are finally supported. With support in place, even the hardest part of the day begins to feel a little softer. The difference begins with a pause, the smallest moment where reaction no longer takes over immediately. When they feel safe, they begin to choose their response instead of being controlled by their emotions. Understanding emotions doesn't happen instantly. It begins with small moments of awareness and gentle guidance. Children learn to calm themselves by first experiencing calm with someone who stays steady beside them. Over time, the calm they borrowed from others begins to grow quietly inside themselves. They are still tired, but now it's the kind of tired that comes from living, not from holding everything in. Each small moment of support becomes a skill they carry forward into the next day. Mornings feel lighter when their body no longer expects to carry everything alone. They move forward with more ease, because they now have the support they needed all along. They are still focused, but now it doesn't take everything they have just to stay that way. They are no longer two different versions of themselves, just one child learning to exist with balance. True strength is not hiding emotions, but learning how to feel them without being overwhelmed. What changed wasn't the child. It was the understanding and support that allowed them to finally regulate. They were never too much. They were overwhelmed. And with support, they learned to feel safe being themselves.